Hey guys, welcome to Juicy Tea, where I read out the best stories on Reddit, so you don't have to. The funny, shocking, and satisfyingly juicy. Found nude pictures of myself on my brother's laptop. Our first story comes from the BestofRedditorUpdates subreddit, posted by Aches for Cakes. I think I caught my younger brother spying on me while I was changing last night, but it might be all in my head. Everything feels super awkward now. My brother, 18 male, and I, 19 female, are staying at our grandparents' house this week. A few nights ago, I noticed the light from the gap under my door go darker and brighter a few times. Initially, I thought my brother might have just been walking up and down the hallway. Last night, when I went to my room to change and go to bed, I noticed it again, so I went to unlock my door and look down the hallway, and I saw my brother's door slam shut just as I opened my door. I thought it was really weird, so I decided to bend over and look through the gap under my door when I realized I could see right into my room. This may all be just in my head, but everything feels super awkward around him today, and we still have 3 more days here before we go home. How do I not make this weird? Relevant comments. He's waiting for you to go to bed so he can smoke or drink or something, I guarantee it. You wouldn't be able to get any upward angle from under the door gap, so he'd only be able to see your feet. Opie replied and said, I checked for myself, and he would definitely be able to see me. It's a wide enough gap. Thankfully, the other commenters put my paranoia to rest. Update, 11 months later. So, tired of being gaslit by my younger brother, I'm pretending that I don't know he's stealing my underwear now. I'm still currently living at home with my parents and my younger brother. I've been dealing with multiple instances of him perving on me and getting away with it by gaslighting me and my parents about it. The first incident that I can specifically remember was a while ago at my grandparents' house. He kept trying to dare me to climb an old tree house, which I finally did, only to realize he could see up my skirt as I was climbing. I yelled at him to stop looking, and he acted like I was being gross for thinking that he was. The whole situation was super weird, so I just brushed it off and never said anything about it again. A few months later, I caught him going through my photos on my laptop. Of course, this caused a huge fight and my parents got involved. He told them he was trying to delete an ugly picture I took of him, and somehow my parents see it as we're both in the wrong. I don't have anything scandalous on there, but it just feels so off for him to be going through my pictures. Fast forward to us moving into our new house this summer, and now we share a bathroom. He never knocks when he knows I'm using the bathroom. Instead, he just tries to see if the door is locked. Eventually, I forgot to lock the door, and he barged in. Luckily, I was half decent. I told my parents about this, and instead of the solution being that he should knock, the solution is that I should use the guest bathroom downstairs. The most recent incident happened a couple of nights ago after a family barbecue. I came back to my room and noticed the sweatpants I'd changed out of before everyone arrived were out of the laundry hamper and on the floor. When I got up to do laundry the next morning, I realized the panties I was wearing with those sweatpants were gone. I thought about confronting him over it, but honestly, the thought of him gaslighting me again was so exhausting. I just didn't say anything. Now another pair are missing, and I'm still acting like I've got no idea. Down in the comments, someone said, you should probably go into your room and check for cameras while you're at it. Also, move out. Opie replied and said, yeah, of course, in an ideal world, I'd be out of the house by now. But in reality, that's a lot easier said than done. It's not something that I can realistically afford right now. And in any case, I don't see why I should be the one to move, as if it's my fault I'm being perved on. Update 2, 4 days later. Thank you all for the support and stories you shared. It really helped me realize how much I need to get out of this toxic situation at home. After everyone's advice to look for hidden cameras in my room, I tried everything recommended, but I didn't find anything. I couldn't get the thought out of my head though, so I decided to go through my brother's laptop when he wasn't home. It honestly broke me. He had dozens of pictures he'd taken of me without me knowing. Pictures of my underwear with cum in them. And a lot of other effed up stuff off the internet. I immediately sent pictures of everything to my parents, packed a bag, and told a friend I needed a place to stay for a few days, and left. My parents have been trying to call me non-stop and have texted me to come home and talk about it, but I've made it clear I don't plan on coming home, unless he's out of the house for good. I don't know what I'm gonna do if they don't kick him out, but for now, I'm just trying to get the thought of everything I saw out of my head and take care of my own mental health. Update 3, 22 days later. About a month ago, I found several pictures of myself on my brother's laptop, including pictures of my underwear that he'd stolen and masturbated into, and a nude picture of me in the bathroom. I took a picture of the thumbnails, deleted the originals, and have been living at my friend's house ever since. I don't plan on returning home unless he is kicked out of the house for good by my parents, which doesn't seem like they're willing to do. I'm still processing everything emotionally, and I'm not sure where to go from here. I'm seriously conflicted. As his sister, I want him to get help, but at the same time, I just can't have him near me right now. I also need to know for sure that there are no other pictures of me floating around, and that they'll never posted or shared. I don't have a lot of support for myself right now, and I don't want to put myself or my family through any unnecessary difficulty because of this, but I do want to know what legal options I have. Down in the comments, someone suggested, get an unlawful surveillance / revenge porn report from the police, citing the evidence you have. This will somewhat protect you and allow you to pressure him into destroying the undocumented photos. If he doesn't comply, you can amend your report, requesting an arrest. Good luck. Final update, brother's confession and apology. In the last couple of weeks, a lot of people have reached out, wanting to know what happened, so I thought I'd share a final update, even if it's not the closure everyone was hoping for. After months of me staying at various friends' houses and threats of the authorities getting involved, my brother finally confessed everything to my parents. He admitted to hiding a camera in our bathroom and stealing my clothing, but promises he never shared any pictures of me and has since deleted them all. He claims to have been addicted to adult content for years, which eventually led him to attempt to live out the things he'd watched online. My parents have sent him to therapy and are trying to fix him however they can. Meanwhile, I don't think I'll ever be moving back home, and I've been saving up, without my parents' help, to get my own place soon. I still feel sad and violated whenever I think about everything that's happened, but I've decided to move on with my life without any of them in it. Luckily, my friends, aka my chosen family, have been here to support me through this whole sick drama, and I'll forever be grateful to them all. Finally, to anyone else who's dealing with a similar situation at home or anywhere else, the truth will eventually come out. Stay strong. Am I the a-hole for telling my wife how great my shower and sleep was when she was in the hospital after delivering our baby? Posted by Pat and Pizza. My wife, 37 female, recently gave birth to our son. We're living in different countries, a 6 to 8 hour drive apart, because I, 35 male, went back to full-time school, and she can only work in her country. This way, she could work during her pregnancy to save up for mat leave. When her labour started, I was on rotation for my school. I got permission to leave and drove 8 hours to make it there at midnight, just in time. She said she had unexpected bleeding and very painful contractions for 2 hours in the waiting room while she waited for a doctor. But by the time I got there, she was peacefully talking to her mother. She'd gotten an epidural and asked to wait to push until I arrived. Our baby was born in the middle of the night. She had a 3rd-degree tear and a very large hemorrhoid from the pushing. They moved us to a cramped little room with a bed for her and a recliner for me that was very uncomfortable for me to sleep in. Mother-in-law went home and returned at night to relieve me. I went home, slept overnight, showered, and felt refreshed. I returned the next morning and told her how great it was to sleep in our bed and take a shower. Her condo shower has the best pressure. I told her I badly needed it, after driving all day, plus spending the next day in hospital. At that point, they'd moved her to a private room, which still only had a fold-out padded chair that mother-in-law had slept in. My wife complained that she couldn't take a shower because the bathroom didn't have any warm water, the baby had been up all night crying/feeding, and that it hurt for her to walk because of the tear/hemorrhoid. Now our baby is 2 months old. I managed to have a couple of weeks off, which I spent with them. A week ago, we got into a huge argument about something. She started accusing me of never once having woken up at night to help with the baby, and told me it was very inconsiderate of me to have bragged about my shower and sleep when she couldn't have those luxuries in hospital. She said I should have seen that she was sleep deprived and still covered in her own blood/sweat, and it was callous and dense of me to make those comments. She said it showed a lack of compassion. I didn't make those comments maliciously. I had gone about 48 hours without a shower, and combined with an 8-hour travel, I felt quite filthy. I had also woken up at 5 AM and did a 5-hour shift before driving up to 8 to 10 hours to get to the hospital. It'd been over 36 hours before I'd last slept in a bed. I expressed to my wife that it felt great to take a shower and sleep because of the sleep deficit I had, and because of how filthy I was feeling. I mentioned that having a good night's sleep and a shower meant that I felt fresh and could be fully present for her and the baby, and be as helpful as possible during this time. Am I the a-hole for just expressing gratitude for my experience? This has gotta be a rage bait. Please let this be a rage bait. I really don't want to believe there's any new dads that useless out there. Remember, I post new content every day, so subscribe for more juicy tea.